welcome into the Hub City. It's going to be a special night here at the ballpark. We've got the Battle of the Billies, and we've got the one and only Steve Beverly joining us tonight. Now, Steve, this is going to be fun, isn't it?
It is going to be different. It'll be fun. It will be energetic, and it will be unpredictable, Alexander Bitterling. It is going to be one of those games in which you throw out everything that is conventional and orthodox baseball, and they just have fun.
And it's cool to see two of the best teams in the Prospect League this season competing in a game like this. Obviously, they've got some undertones. They're fighting for the South Division. But tonight, they're having fun. They're still trying to win, but it's just a little bit different.
Now, I will tell you, there will be different rules in virtually every inning. And, Alexander, one of the things about this is that if you see what happens in one inning and you think it's going to look the same way in the next, you're wrong. So this is going to be one in which just stay tuned to your screen and just go with the punches just like they are. They're going with the inning. They changed the rules in so many innings. I wonder how the guys out there on the field can keep up with it.
Well, there's a couple of rules that are going to be throughout the game. Now, these are pretty simple. The first one, if a ball's caught in the stands by a fan, that's an out. Automatically an out. So a lot of fans brought their gloves here tonight. Hopefully they've got good hands out there and record some outs here in the seats. The other one is there's no walks tonight. Strike or ball 4, that means you got to run. You got to beat it out to first base, so it's going to be tough. You can't just walk on down there.
Well, I guess that will probably, in many respects, cut down on a lot of the time limit in the game, and then it'll like one of the other things that'll probably happen in that situation is you're going to see more outs because you generally, even with a walk, if the catcher's got any arm at all, he'll throw him out at first base.
Absolutely, and one of the wild things that we'll see all night long is anytime there's a strikeout, it's not automatically an out. The pitcher's still got to do a little more to earn the out, so the runner will take off to first, and the pitcher has water balloons. And they've got to hit the runner with the water balloon to tag them out. So we'll see a lot of different things going on here tonight, but those three throughout the whole game.
Now, can you protest if the water balloon blinds you to the point you get soaked so hard that you can't see to go down to the next base?
I'm not sure about the rules on the water balloons here. I don't know if face shots, I don't know how it works, but it's going to be a fun night here in the ballpark. Hot weather, so a water balloon will feel pretty good.
Yeah, we're 93 degrees right here at this point at Rockabillys Stadium, and the heat index is right at an even 100. So it is going to be a humid situation, and I think maybe the water balloons will help greatly their condition for tonight where this is concerned. I think the other thing you got to look at, Alexander, is are they going to do crazy things such as carry somebody in a wheelbarrow down to first base? This could be a make-them-up-as-we-go type of situation.
That's true, and some of the star players that we've seen on both of these teams, well, it's going to be a little harder tonight, right? The first inning, we've got a kickball out there. Obviously, a little different type of swing to that.
You kickball. I can remember when I was a kid, you played kickball with, it was a large plastic ball. You pumped it up as big as you could, and then you played it, and some of those things could actually hurt your foot if you didn't catch it in the right place. So I guess maybe with the explosion of soccer that we're trying to be a third cousin to it with kickball.
Well, we've got a moment here. I feel like I've got to tell a story about kickball. So me and my siblings, I grew up in a big family. We're playing some kickball out in the front yard, and a neighbor kid was there, right? His name was Parker. And Parker had not played baseball. Okay?
Hello, Parker, wherever you are.
Yeah, wherever Parker's at. I'm sorry, I won't tell any more information about you. We don't want anybody to find Parker, but Parker had never played baseball, so we're explaining the rules as we go. And he kicks the ball, and he gets all the way over to third base. So then the next time it's kicked, we say, Parker, run home. And Parker didn't know that home was the base, right? So Parker takes off running to his house.
So he thought that was home.
So we went running after Parker, telling him we still wanted him to play kickball with us. He just had to run to the next base that's called home.
Well, see, Parker was doing what you told him to, and you just didn't give him a thorough enough explanation of all of it. Now, I have one other question about all of this tonight. When all is said and done, if it's tied after 9 innings, do we play extra innings?
There's got to be some form of tiebreaker. I don't know what it is. It's not on our sheet. It could be bridge when we come to it.
Could they take a vote of the crowd and just
Well, we're here in Jackson, so I would say that most of the votes are going to sway towards the Rockabillys way. So if that's the tiebreaker, we might have it in the bag.
I think you have it pretty well locked up in where we're concerned about that. We are seeing more fans trickling in here now, and it is really, I think, for the ones who have come out tonight and they braved the heat, and it has been oppressive here, and it will be again tomorrow because we're still looking at mid-90s in the Jackson area. But hopefully, as we get closer to twilight and then eventually get into evening, it won't be quite as bad to deal with all of this and the sun in your face, but it is going to be this is a night for the kids. Let's just say it. This is really, without declaring it, so this is kids' night at the ballpark.
It's the second annual Battle of the Billies. Last year, a huge success. Of course, a sellout crowd, a lot of fun. The Rockabillys did fall last year, if I remember right. So looking for some revenge here tonight. And, of course, any win against the team that's number one in the Prospect League's got to feel good.
And I thought it was really a neat trick as I was coming into the ballpark tonight. Some of the Rockabillys were right there at the gate greeting the fans as they were coming in. So, this is another thing to try to have a touch with the community and have the opportunity to be accessible, and I know that means a lot to the fans.
Absolutely. One of the impressive things about the Prospect League is you really kind of feel at home here at the ballpark. The players walking around, signing autographs even during the game, before the game and after. Sometimes they come up and they greet different people here in the stands, so it feels like you're here at home and watching people that you know.
Well, it's going to be fun for us tonight, and we'll probably be a little bit more relaxed with our commentary because there are going to be some comical things that will happen on the base paths tonight. But the bottom line to it is this is really, it's fun for the kids and for the families to come together. They'll get a lot of great laughs out of it, and that's something that you just can't trade into, and it's a good break. As opposed to having an all-star game in a league like the Prospect League, it's a good break to be able to have an opportunity to do something just for fun. And, of course, just in the past week, having the opportunity with the League of Their Own type of game was really, I think, was something that people really enjoyed who are here at the ballpark.
Absolutely. Mixing it up a little bit, and the question with the managers down there at home plate is, how do you manage a game like this? Every inning completely different. You don't know who's the best kicker on the team. So how do you approach these things?
It's almost like if you are, I guess probably comparable to if you're a referee for a Harlem Globetrotters basketball game. I think there's probably a lot of parallel between the two because, as we all know, watching the Globetrotters over the years, they do many hijinks and antics that would not be allowed in a conventional basketball game. So I think the umps, they'll call the balls and strikes, but they'll have some fun with everybody else.
Absolutely, and we'll see a lot of different players make their way into this game here tonight. Hopefully get a good look at all the players from both the Rockabillys and the Thrillbillies, two teams that joined the league the same year and had very similar names. So you've got to create something like this to see who's the best of the Billies.
Well, we're glad to be here with you on the Ball Game Blitz Sports Network and Worthy Road Studios, which we are happy to say, based on the broadcast production team last year, they were the award-winning Worthy Road Studios production unit, and we are just delighted to have our entire crew here tonight to pick this up for you, and hope those of you who are watching this on delayed streaming that you're going to have a really good time. Wherever you happen to be, have a good time with it because this is just what it's meant to be tonight, just very enjoyable. And look here, we got something already started here. We got a brouhaha. Look at this in the middle of look at home plate. And all the benches are emptying. This is almost like one of the boxing matches that I call, and they're all coming after each other. Here's another one who goes in.
And we got water bottles out there.
Things are breaking down around here. Look at all of this. And they've had to separate them, and they're moving back toward the backs of the dugouts and getting away, and I don't think the umps are going to be looking this to anybody. They're going to eject for the game from that.
Well, at this point, with everybody out there on the field, it would have to be everybody. And we've got a game here tonight. The show must go on, as they say. It's going to be a fun one, though.
I thought you and I were going to start turning into Jim Ross and Friends calling the action there.
Well, the one conventional thing we have tonight is we do have a crowd. We've got 9 innings. We've got 3 outs per innings. And we've got a national anthem.
Unless they change the rules on the 3 outs per inning. Yes, we. And, of course, that was Miss Tennessee, Emma Kate Hayes, that brought us that rendition of the national anthem. And they've got the kids here tonight to give us a little more.
Play ball, great execution there. It's going to be a fun night here at the ballpark. You've got to have a good way to get it started.
Now, I wonder what happens tonight if you end up with two guys on base at the same time.
I don't know what happens when anything happens.
This is what it is that if they make up a rule as we go, we'll try to convey it to you as much as possible.
And Dennis explaining some of those rules we mentioned before the game, where if you record an out in the seats, that's an out in the game. So the fans not only get to be a part of this here, they can actually actively participate in the game, recording outs here.
All right, this is traditional kickball rules in the first inning. This ought to be really interesting, Alexander.
It will be, and the question is, how much do the skills translate over? You know, you don't have the glove. You're using your foot, maybe still a little bit of your hips for the swing, but a whole different animal here with kickball versus traditional baseball.
Well, your friend Parker, I don't think these guys will go to their actual home if they get a chance to circle the bases.
Let's hope not at this stage of their career, right? A collegiate league.
What I want to do is to see if somebody can actually do a kickball over the Blue Monster.
Nobody in this league. I'm going to go out and say that. Probably not here in the Prospect League, but we're underway. Right up the middle, and he bobbles it. Long throw to first. Not going to get there in time.
Nah, that was one of those that even if you put the throw in slow motion, it almost would look like it was still framed.
We've got Caleb Herbert with the leadoff single there. He's down at first base.
Now look at that. It's a foul ball, but it didn't go into the stands for any reason. So since it didn't go back in the stands, that's just a conventional strike.
If the kickball goes in the stands, I think you messed up here. Swinging wide at that one. Foul for strike two.
Now, I guess you're allowed to step over the batter's box into the opposite side if the ball goes in that direction.
They do have a little bit of a running start into the kicks here. 0-2.
And there's a good one.
Up in the air, it's one out, and the runner safely back there at first. Now, we've got some extra men out here on the field, so they decided to bring their 9 into the infield.
Yeah, notice that we got one guy playing in short left field. But other than that, nobody is expecting one to go deep.
And actually, they've got 9 in the field, and they're behind the plate. We've got one just playing a little bit of catcher.
Now, he put a little spin on that one. Now, notice that. He kicked it over to the second baseman, and the guy's going to advance to second and third.
Now, the kick relay here is interesting. Throw to the plate is not going to be in time, so the Thrillbillies strike first here in the kickball inning.
That was one of those. Now, I wonder if it would have been better if he had fired it to first rather than kicked it to second, rather than kicked it to second.
Yeah, I would like to know the thought process going on in his brain there of the kick versus the throw. That one in the air, good play on it out there. Double play.
And a double play. How about that?
That's some quick reflexes there, but of course the Thrillbillies strike first. It's 1-0. We'll see the Rockabillys' kickball skills here in a moment.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Buy a car in your bikini. Buy a truck in your jammies. Buy an SUV in your, well, no matter what you're wearing or not. Shop JonesChevroletHumboldt.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
A damaged electronic device typically costs hundreds or even thousands of dollars to replace. But we're here to show you that there's a better way. CPR is the global leader in electronic device repair, and our services are fast and far more affordable than replacement. Our knowledgeable technicians have experience working with all types of smartphones, tablets, computers and laptops, MP3 players, gaming consoles, and even other electronic gadgets like drones and more. CPR, we save your mobile life.
Here we go, the bottom of the first. That one kicked strong out into the outfield.
Now, he's going to have to chase after that one a good bit, but they've held him to a single.
Just like that, the first one kicked out there into left field. The Rockabillys trying to get back here, down 1-0. That was Brian Dacker with a single off the first pitch.
I guess you could say they have two short fielders. They've got one in right field and one in left field.
That one fouled down the line there, behind 0-1. And no number on the back of his jersey here, man of mystery at the plate.
Now, did he call that a strike, or is that?
He did. That's strike two, so you got to be careful here. Not a lot of swing and miss in the kickball. It's a bunt. Throw or kick over to first, rather. And everybody's safe. So I don't know if the rule is that you have to kick it to the base or we're just choosing to do this.
Choosing to do that. I'm not sure on that.
That one kicked. It could be two. Flip to second in time. Throw to first.
Never
He's
get
going to
him.
beat it out. So runners on the corners, but they do get one of the runners there. And here's a big opportunity for the Rockabillys to tie it back up.
Now, he's got a strong foot, and it goes deep into beyond shortstop area, and that easily is going to score a run.
And it's all tied up here, 1-1, but the Rockabillys still threatening two base runners on.
Now, can you steal when
I
you're
haven't
playing
seen any
kickball?
stealing. Typically the rule is no. Up in the air and good play at first.
Yeah, if he had not snagged that one could have potentially gone down the right field line, and we would have seen at least 2 runs scored.
Now, if you can really get this one out there to the outfield, you probably can turn around first pretty quick and have extra bases. It'll flip to third, and a quick force out there. So the Rockabillys tie it up 1-1 in another quick inning. We're through the first.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Hey Jackson, Chuck Hutton, Tennessee's trusted name in automotive excellence, is proud to announce the grand opening of Chuck Hutton Nissan, now open at the I-40 and 45 bypass right in the heart of Jackson. Come see why Chuck Hutton has been the go-to destination for car buyers in Memphis for over 100 years. Now we're bringing that same dedication and experience to Jackson. Come experience the Chuck Hutton difference for yourself. Chuck Hutton Nissan will have you saying, I'm going to Jackson.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Well, this inning right here, interesting. Everybody pretty much knows the rules of kickball that we saw last inning. But this inning, we've got tennis rackets and tennis balls. So the batter's going to have a tennis racket.
Now, what I want to know, though, is the pitcher going to pitch the tennis ball, or is he going to hit a tennis racket to him?
And we'll just have to wait and find out with the folks at home because we don't know. But we do know this inning is also the cowboy inning, which means they've got cowboy hats on when they're hitting, and also they've got to run the bases with the stick horse.
My old friend from college, Cowboy Bob Miller, would love this one. Cowboy Bob was an unpredictable one, so you would know he would fit right in with this. And they are wearing cowboy hats
now
at the plate.
With a name like Cowboy Bob, you know they're going to do something unexpected.
Now take a look at this guy. Now the big question is it going to be one of these motorized horses, or is it going to be one that they've just literally got it's one of those old wooden horses?
I think it's one of the wooden ones. That one hit right there to short. Tennis ball throw over.
No horse.
No horse on that one. It might be once you get down there to first base. So stick pony and no leadoff here, but an interesting part, too, is you can peg the hitter with the tennis ball. So if you think you've got a good arm, got a little dodgeball in you, down the third base line. That one's through the gap.
And notice they're playing they got 4 guys that are in short field now instead of the 1 that we had in the previous inning.
And a good play there as the left fielder throws out the lead runner, Jaden Correa. He didn't make it to second safely, so that stick pony throws off the speed a little bit on the base path.
I remember having one of those things when I was about 4 years old.
Oh, my, this one. He put something into that. It's up in the air, but a good play out there in left field. It just hung up in the air for a while.
That was what you would call, literally, that's a freeze frame moment, the way he just managed to stay with that ball, get all the way back there.
Had a good read on it off the racket. And that one right up to shortstop.
And notice they didn't use gloves.
No gloves, and they didn't need them. They strand 1 base runner, but nothing going there for the Thrillbillies, headed to the bottom part of this inning.
Where the day starts with laughter in local shops and ends under the stars with live music. That's Jackson, Tennessee. It's a place where every moment is an invitation to explore, to connect, to be part of something bigger. Jackson isn't just a destination. It's where stories are written, memories in the making.
CPR is the global leader in electronic device repair, and our services are fast and far more affordable than replacement.
Well, we're back here, the bottom half of the second inning. The Rockabillys will test their luck with the tennis racket and tennis ball. Hit down the line. What a beauty there. No way he's making that play barehanded.
This guy is doing what they used to call an ephus pitch, where you throw it just sky high and hope it dips down and that you'll embarrass yourself by swinging and missing.
That one was right there in the strike zone, so he had a good idea on it, but Camden Krogan just waited on it and put a good swing on it.
And there you go, but it's going to bounce right to the short fielder. We have to call him the short fielder.
The short fielder, a new position.
Alexander, it is, though, as you say, it's the horse really slows them down in this case. They're not going to be at the Kentucky Derby.
Absolutely not. It's not the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, but it is an exciting moment. And Trey Watkins at the plate puts a good swing on that one. But it might be a similar situation.
Yeah.
The same play.
Look at him how he's trying to trot down there.
And that was 3 quick outs for the Rockabillys. So we are through the second. The tennis rackets and tennis balls don't really work out well for anybody in this case, but we'll move on to the third.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
The award-winning Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 1 million views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,700 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, South Gibson County, USJ, TCA, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow-motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Buy a car in your bikini. Buy a truck in your jammies. Buy an SUV in your, well, no matter what you're wearing or not. Shop JonesChevroletHumboldt.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
As soon as the players and the fans here have figured out what's going on in the inning, well, we're on to the next. Here's the third. It's going to be 3 pitchers on the mound. That's right. 1, 2, 3. But it's not 3 balls. It's just 1. So you got to figure out who's got it. Then get a read on the pitch and put a good swing on it. The good news is it's a foam ball, so it's not coming 90 miles an hour at you, but it's going to be a struggle.
You know, the one thing that they ought to add to this is a wheel like they have on the Showcase Showdown on The Price is Right, and that would determine what rules you play by each inning. I think you add that to it, and you've got the exclamation point.
That would be incredible. We've got a couple guys out there for the Rockabillys. One is Ethan Orwig, who's been unhittable in the typical baseball for Prospect League this season. We've also got number 13, Kobe Rogers, out there. And it looks like number 38, which would be none other than Matt Houston, who's typically an infielder.
We call him the detective because there was an ABC series called Matt Houston that ran for 4 years.
Hit to short, long throw, draws him off the bag, and he's able to beat it out.
Reach over and get him on the elbow. So, yep, Matt Houston. Lee Horsley played Matt Houston. So, while you were away for a couple of games, we started calling Matt the detective.
Well, Caleb Herbert down there at first base, and we've got Cam Edwards making his way to the plate.
This looks like military formation the way.
This could be 2. 3 pitchers and a chance for a double play.
They dropped it.
Dropped it, but he was safe anyways. Beat it by about a half a step.
See, if this was a game show, they would have gone, eh.
We need to add some of those sound effects. We need a little board where we can push the sound effects buttons.
That's right.
We'll get Paul to work on that for us.
Now, they're having a conference at the mound to determine how they're going to play this one.
The question is, who's going to throw it this time?
Yeah, you never know which one. This is like an onside kick. You don't know whether it's going to come from the left or the right. There.
Orwig throws it for a strike in there. So we've got 42 down at the plate. That's Jaden Correa again.
And there's small conference once again. And you can see the technique of trying to hide the ball.
We've got a good angle here. We can see it's right there in the middle. Oh, well, they fooled me. Ethan Orwig had it, and it's fouled off, 0-2.
I think he's having to run more to go after the ball.
No leading off again here. It's not a game of steals. It's a game of using the elements. That one bounces in. Now, even though it's a wild pitch, there's no steals here.
No steals. See, I wanted to see if they would do that during the kickball segment. That would have been interesting.
Now, trying to throw it down to second base, or even third base for that matter, with the kickball, probably an automatic stolen bag.
This is like what we used to have a huddle after every play in football.
Another one skips in. Runner does go. Is that allowed? I guess it is. So no leading off, but you can take off on the wild pitch.
It must be in this case. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, we're learning as we go, just like you at home.
Maybe if it's 2 strikes, you have the opportunity to steal.
Now, a chance for the first strikeout of the ball game here, 2-2. Now, remember, if you strike out, well, that one's hit over to third. Long throw, draws him off the bag, and can't complete the scoop. So we've got runners at the corners now.
That was an iffy play to try to get him at first anyway. Uh-oh!
We're in a rundown.
They're going to get a run out of this, though.
Flip to first. They got him. So out number 2.
But they got a run.
Thrillbillies trade the out for the run. Some base running tricks here in the early goings.
They must feel very confident that with this style of play in the 3rd inning that they can pick that run back up.
You've got that conference out there again. Now nobody on the base paths. I don't think you pitch a lot different in this situation. Slow roller to second. That should end the inning here.
He didn't even run it out.
He didn't run it out. And did you see the second baseman bounce the softball there? Not a softball, but a foam ball to get the 3rd out.
And that's it.
That's it. 2-1 in the bottom of the 3rd in just a moment.
If you're looking to upgrade your device without breaking the bank, CPR can help you with that as well. Our stores carry a wide variety of certified pre-owned tablets, laptops, and smartphones, including all of the latest Apple and Samsung models. Financing is available for qualified customers. Our Y-certified technicians are ready to assist you. And our limited lifetime warranty is the best in the industry. And with hundreds of stores across the U.S., you never have to look far for fast, efficient electronic device repair. CPR. We save your mobile life.
Hey Jackson, Chuck Hutton, Tennessee's trusted name in automotive excellence, is proud to announce the grand opening of Chuck Hutton Nissan, now open at the I-40 and 45 bypass right in the heart of Jackson. Come see why Chuck Hutton has been the go-to destination for car buyers in Memphis for over 100 years. Now we're bringing that same dedication and experience to Jackson. Come experience the Chuck Hutton difference for yourself. Chuck Hutton Nissan will have you saying, "I'm going to Jackson."
Well, here we go. The Rockabillys will try their hand here with the 3 pitchers on the mound. We've got Preston Drebs out there, as well as number 52, Jackson Kahn. And there's one more I can't quite make out, but there's 3 up there, and you don't know who's got it.
Now, I wonder if everybody can bat. You don't have to be just restricted to 9 players that are going to the plate.
Right. Well, I don't know how this works. 17 also out there, Houston Clark.
They didn't fool me on that one. I saw it in his hand.
Oh, he's walking towards the mound, but he'll decide to let it go on this one.
I would love to see if they would pull a Larry Moe and Curly Joe thing where all 3 of them would throw a ball at the same time.
Now, if they swing and miss with that, is that an automatic strikeout?
I haven't heard that rule specifically. Now, I think they need a conference clock because I think they took a little too long with that one.
He threw it in the air and passed it to somebody else up the middle, and
I
3
think
pitchers,
he's
but nobody makes the play.
He is there.
Beats it out. It's Matt Houston there.
The detective does it again.
Now, the question is, if you're a little crazy and you're trying to keep the book here in this inning, right?
Yeah.
If a pitcher makes a play, is it 1A, 1B, 1C, or how do we indicate?
And it depends on what side you're looking at it. Or is it from behind? There's a high fly ball.
They got gloves in this inning, so that's an easy routine play. A can of corn for a college player. It's out 2.
Well, again, this is what happens when you have 3 short fielders like this. They're in a better position.
And here's Ethan Orwig, usually out there on the mound. But getting a chance at the plate. He's played the hero for the Rockabillys.
Watch him stretch the bat back. Whoa!
Oh, good swing on it, but he'll fly out there to left field. It's 3 up, 3 down for the Rockabillys.
Now, let's see. We got one more.
We do. Well, there's 3 pitchers out there, and I'm just adding numbers everywhere, I guess. 2 outs, so still some hope here. Now, what I do know is it's 2-1.
Now, he almost hit him with that one.
He did almost hit him.
And so they're going to, because of that, the runner advances down to second. He's in scoring position.
Will this one get down? No. It's going to be out number 3. So the Rockabillys strand the runner down there at second base. And they trail by 1, a third of the way through the ball game.
Buy a car in your bikini. Buy a truck in your jammies. Buy an SUV in your, well, no matter what you're wearing or not. Shop JonesChevroletHumboldt.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Hey Jackson, Chuck Hutton, Tennessee's trusted name in automotive excellence, is proud to announce the grand opening of Chuck Hutton Nissan, now open at the I-40 and 45 bypass right in the heart of Jackson. Come see why Chuck Hutton has been the go-to destination for car buyers in Memphis for over 100 years. Now we're bringing that same dedication and experience to Jackson. Come experience the Chuck Hutton difference for yourself. Chuck Hutton Nissan will have you saying, "I'm going to Jackson."
It's the backwards inning, and it's also the chicken dance here at the ballpark. In this inning, there's a lot going on. One is that they've got to run backwards around the bases. So you start at third, head to second, first, and home.
I'm predicting that you will not see a lot of offense in this inning.
Well, another thing is you've got your teammates soft tossing it to you, but you've got to use your non-dominant hand, and you've got to bat from the other side of the plate. So it's completely backwards.
You know, we have the 7th inning stretch traditionally, but here we are between the 3rd and the 4th, and I think the fans are getting more exercise than I've seen them at any time this season.
On a hot day like this, you're going to break a sweat doing the chicken dance.
Yeah, in about 30 seconds. There's no question about that. Well, as we said, this is all fun for everybody, and you go with the punches on it.
We've got some of the Thrillbillies playing some catch in the seats with the fans. Not sure what they're throwing back and forth. There's so many different things going on here at the ballpark. But fans waiting for their opportunity to make a catch. We haven't seen one go in the seats yet.
That's it. We haven't seen one of those. I guess they would have allowed it if the kickball had gone behind.
Now, this might be a good inning to make that happen because we're still playing with the baseball. They are hitting from the other side of the plate, but still pretty much going to be able to put a good swing on it.
Now, in this inning, can you use any kind of bat, or is it back to the traditional?
So on this inning, we've got the real ball and the wood bat. So Prospect League regulars here.
All right, we're going to play in regulation, but you just got to go in reverse.
Got to go in reverse, and you've got to hit from the opposite side of the plate.
I would love if somebody was able to go around the bases backward to be able to play it in reverse for them here as a just to see what it would look like going forward when you're actually going backwards.
Now, the only thing I want to know is, do you get a run or do you take a run from the other team? If it's the backwards inning, I think we should steal one from the other team.
I hadn't thought about that. That would be a great suggestion.
Now, it would essentially be a wash, right? It would be the same result, but it would help your pitcher's ERA out a little bit.
Now, the batters have to use their opposite hand from what they customarily will bat. So if you're a left-handed hitter, you got to hit right-handed. But my question to you is, what if you're a switch hitter?
If you're a switch hitter, you're just a human cheat code, I guess, here in this inning. Now, the question is, are you allowed to switch hit? You know, if you've got a switch hitter, maybe they can't go out there in this inning.
See, Mickey Mantle, I don't know how he would be affected by this if he were still with us, because he was the consummate switch hitter. So here we go, and they once again, they're not going to be playing deep.
They've pretty much figured out that this is a deep ballpark here in the Hub City. You sometimes see a ball hit in the gap and it's an easy triple. But here, the ball's not going that far.
Now, if we we'll get to that if we come to it. I was going to say, if we get to extra innings, have they got new rules in reserve for that?
There must be, but they haven't.
Or do they declare it a tie?
Surely they're going to let somebody be the winner here. Your teammate is flipping the pitch to you here. Now, the question is, do you lay a bunt down the third base line and hope you catch them slipping and then throw it to first? Or do you swing away?
We haven't heard whether bunting is allowed in this.
I think, as they say, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah.
Oh, the bat goes flying.
And the bat goes flying into the dugout.
Now, I know it's difficult to hit with your non-dominant hand, right? But you got to hold on to the bat. That's step number one.
Well, we may have firewood for the rest of the night if that happens.
So I guess that's strike one, right? Or were we not counting strikes in this inning?
I would have to say it's, well, they didn't post it on the board.
He's also running the wrong way.
And forgot. Yeah, I think that's an automatic out. Automatic out.
Well, a good scoop over there at third. As a third baseman, you don't have to make the scoop very often.
No. So you got to go to third instead of to first.
Oh, swing and a miss. Now, your teammate's not trying to strike you out, right? They're trying to soft toss it to you. But
exactly.
They had some nasty movement on it. That one might get down. It will, and it's backwards he's running around the base paths.
Yeah, you have to go backwards to all the bases, but you start going to third. But you got to trot them backwards as well.
Just a lot going on here. You got to keep track of the rules and try to play the game at the same time.
I think he's going to take that one easy, yeah.
Easy play out there in left field. And now it's 2 outs. Thrillbillies down to their last hope here, but they've got a runner down there at third. He's not 90 feet away from scoring,
No. No, he's 270 feet
270.
away from scoring.
That's that quick math right there. And strike 1 right there. Up in the air, and that's a good play from the pitcher there. Quick off the mound.
Now, that looked like, I thought that was out number 3, but he's going back to the mound.
I thought it was as well.
Well, I guess he's got to face another hitter. Yeah, that is. Yeah, we're waiting on that. That's the call.
It went by so quick that they weren't even convinced they had 3, but they do. And the Rockabillys will try their backwards way here.
Buy a car in your bikini. Buy a truck in your jammies. Buy an SUV in your, well, no matter what you're wearing or not. Shop JonesChevroletHumboldt.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
The award-winning Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 1 million views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,700 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, South Gibson County, USJ, TCA, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
The question here at the ballpark, where'd you come from, where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe? And what are the rules in every inning? That's what we're trying to figure out.
We're at the bottom of the 4th, and it's a 2-1 game, Thrillbillies. But this is one, again, if you just joined us, this is one of those where you got to maneuver the bases backward. You're being pitched to by one of your teammates, but you maneuver the bases backward, but you got to go, in addition to running in reverse, you've got to go to third, second, and first before you get to home.
And this is a tough inning to get any runs across, for sure. You do have your teammate with the soft toss.
That's the kneeling pitch.
Oh, he dropped it. Went right through his glove. He's looking at it like it's got a hole in it.
It's a little casual out there on that one.
Now, you might be seeing that tub there behind the mound and wondering, what is that? That's the water balloons the pitcher's equipped with, the ammunition, if you will, if he gets a strikeout. That one could be 2.
You got to remember how to throw them, though.
You got to throw with your non-dominant hand is the thing, too. So they're throwing either with their left hand if they're right-handed or vice versa. That's difficult, too.
Now, Chris Akers is one who can let fly, but I still wonder, mentally, what are you thinking about, though, when you're so accustomed to playing baseball? And look at this one.
Puts a good swing on it. There's not anybody out there.
Alexander,
he's running the wrong way, though. Turn around.
He's forgotten. He's running the wrong way. He's going to be out.
He's going to try to cut across the diamond. He might make it. How about that? He took a base and a half before he learned to run the right direction.
He should have had a double out of that.
But we do have runners on the corners.
Well, they didn't clear him out for going outside the baseline.
Oh, swing and a miss. Took
Whoa.
a big cut on that one.
He was looking at the Texas Roadhouse sign.
It's a strikeout pitcher out there, Ethan Orwig. You'd hate to strike out your own teammate 0-2 here.
I can tell he's not accustomed to hitting left-handed.
There we go. Puts a swing on it. Could be a sac fly. He tosses a glove up, and it's out into the gap. Throwing water balloons at him anyways.
And he's just going to trot his way home.
The Rockabillys tie it up. And maybe backwards is it for them. Ethan Orwig out there now. It looks like it's his turn to hit.
Now, let's see if Ethan can hit a 2-run double here.
Puts a good swing on it up the middle.
You had too many guys out there in the field.
Oh, he dropped it. Everybody's going to be safe.
We got them loaded now.
Now, in a game with rules like this, I don't know how you count an error.
And look at his own teammate throwing the glove at him in the outfield. He's very unhappy with his teammate.
Things are falling apart for the Thrillbillies, not just as far as the score's concerned, but looks like teammate-wise. Had some scuff between the two teams to start the game. Now we've got a little between the teammates.
And that one is going to go foul.
He also took off down to first base, too. At some point, every time somebody goes up there, you've got to say, go to third. Muscle memory, though. Up in the air. He dropped it to try to turn two. How about that?
We have no infield fly rule here.
So no infield fly rule. That brings in a run for the Rockabillys. I don't know the what was thought about there.
I think what they did, they ruled it a double play, and the run doesn't count, so it's 2-2.
They did it. You're right. They had the force out at second and then tagged the runner. So you're right. It's 2-2. 4 innings through this one.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Buy a car in your bikini. Buy a truck in your jammies. Buy an SUV in your, well, no matter what you're wearing or not. Shop JonesChevroletHumboldt.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
A damaged electronic device typically costs hundreds or even thousands of dollars to replace. But we're here to show you that there's a better way. CPR is the global leader in electronic device repair, and our services are fast and far more affordable than replacement. Our knowledgeable technicians have experience working with all types of smartphones, tablets, computers and laptops, MP3 players, gaming consoles, and even other electronic gadgets like drones and more. CPR, we save your mobile life.
Well, they were handing out bananas here at the ballpark in between the innings here. But as you look, as we zoom out here, you can see lots of guys out there on the field. No, we're not transitioning to football halfway through the game. This is the whole dugout for the Rockabillys out there, and that's one of the rules of this inning. We've got every player out there to play the field.
Looks like we got half the community out here.
So you've got right fielder number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 out there, and then so on for the positions. But also, we've got metal bats, so back to some of the collegiate rules, and it's off a tee. So the question is, how well can you hit off a tee? That's how it's going to determine here in this inning.
Well, a lot of these guys probably started out playing T-ball years ago. I don't think they probably at that point in their lives ever thought they'd be doing this in a minor league stadium.
Absolutely not. But here we are. We've got Caleb Herbert there at the plate.
And it's going to be metal bat.
Good cut, but right to shortstop. It'll be a quick one. Beats him by about 10 steps there.
That's a routine play. Now, you notice some of the guys out there in the outfield, they have their back to the action.
And some of these guys are pitchers, right? You've got the whole roster out there, so haven't played much in the field, at least in a while.
Now, notice they're leaving a big gap over in right field.
That's where he's going to try to hit it. Oh, out of his glove. Still plenty of time, though, to pick up the second out.
Even with a casual throw down to first.
And a good scoop over there by Donovan Dykes. Or Dykes, excuse me. He usually plays out in right field, so out of position, but looked right at home. 2 outs quick. This one could be through the gap of the 8 infielders, but it's out number 3. So pretty much 3 swings and 3 outs.
That is the fastest half inning we've had, and we're still tied at 2.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Hey Jackson, Chuck Hutton, Tennessee's trusted name in automotive excellence, is proud to announce the grand opening of Chuck Hutton Nissan, now open at the I-40 and 45 bypass right in the heart of Jackson. Come see why Chuck Hutton has been the go-to destination for car buyers in Memphis for over 100 years. Now we're bringing that same dedication and experience to Jackson. Come experience the Chuck Hutton difference for yourself. Chuck Hutton Nissan will have you saying, "I'm going to Jackson."
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Well, we had a very, very quick half inning there in the top of the fifth. Rockabillys give that one a good hit out there. And they don't have anybody deep out there. This might be inside the Parker.
That's going all the way back to the warning track. But what I wonder is, do the Thrillbillies not have the same volume of people that
they must not, and no rules against it. It said everybody. Uh-oh. Oh, but he throws it over. So how about that? A jog inside the Parker. I mentioned that this ballpark plays big.
Notice the casual steps that he took as he got to the home plate and finally came in for the lead run.
Jackson Lucas with the home run, the first one of the ball game, and gives the Rockabillys the lead. Oh, 99 puts it through the gap and past the first right fielder. Oh, he's headed for second. Nobody at the bag, though. He's going to slide in safe.
And the Thrillbillies are playing at a deficit, not having the volume of people. I think that the Rockabillys may have drafted some people out of the stands, but overall, they are hitting them in the gaps between everybody.
You know, this is a much more difficult inning when you've got about 12 guys out there versus the Rockabillys had 20 plus. It's all about placement, too. Slow roller up the middle. That'll be the first down, but runner's headed to third.
He thought about coming in to score.
Would have had an opportunity.
I think what they ought to have is there ought to be one inning that everybody, and listen to the fans, the boos. The boo birds are out.
You knew they were going to come out at some point tonight. Is this umpire about to take a cut? Oh, I thought he was. I thought things were really switching up here.
I think there ought to be a rule that there is one inning in which everybody in the outfield is senior citizens. I could recruit a good bunch.
The fans want the umpire to take a cut here. So did the Rockabillys pay him off, or how is he playing for them right now? Oh, strike one. Oh, he took out the tee. Now, if the umpire strikes out, does he have to strike himself out with the...
I wonder if he could argue with himself.
Ejects himself after it. Oh, there we go, up in the air. Could be a sacrifice fly for the umpire.
And it is.
It is. So how about that? You hit the baseball, record the RBI, and then rule the runner safe. 4-2. Rockabillys with a 2-run lead now.
We told you it would be an unpredictable night, and there you had it.
So at what point does the umpire play for both teams, or has he just chosen the side here? Oh, we've got some vocals, it looks like, about to go on. And it's Unwritten, one of my favorite songs. It's Kobe Rogers out there.
I hope
at some point you've got to let the music speak for itself.
I hope Kobe is not auditioning for America's Got Talent.
Let's hope baseball works out. He's on a baseball scholarship, maybe not a music scholarship, okay? But he puts a good swing on it. It's in foul territory, and that's legal in this inning. So he's going to be down there at second base. They tried to get him with the water balloon anyways.
And the Cowboy can't do anything about it. Now, I thought he might be coming out for a pinch runner.
I think he thought about breaking for third.
Well, it's been a big inning for the Rockabillys as they have taken a 4-2 lead.
It's Taylor Vinson there. Steps into it. Big cut. Takes a nasty hop. And they've got plenty of time, but the throw draws him off the bag, and he's safe.
He's going to score.
Oh, now there's other umpires hearing it from just about all the Thrillbillies. And Vinson's continuing to run around the bases. And he's in third, coming to the plate. Now he might have to. Oh, here we go.
He can't run.
Oh, how about that? A classic play there. 5-2. He fools them with the, what's that over there?
I did that to my wife one time whenever we were having a meal at somebody's house, and it was a picnic, and I pointed up in the air. I said, look at that plane up there, and then I reached over and grabbed some of her French fries.
It works every time, like a charm.
It is a 6-2 game, Alexander.
The Rockabillys pouring it on here in the T inning. Up the middle. No way they'd throw him out at first. So the bat boy with the single.
I wonder if they're going to draft anybody out of the stands to come out and hit.
Hey, I'm ready. Let me know when it's my time. Camden Krogan steps into it. Happy Gilmore style.
Well, that's a foul ball, but it doesn't matter.
There's nobody up there in the Happy Hiller sky deck. If there was, they could have recorded out number 3.
Well, the umpire's calling him back. You remember, if a fan catches one of those, it's an out.
Absolutely, and they said everything's inbounds on the field. Had clarification there. It would have been an easy home run.
I think they made that up as they went.
That one hit out there, though. That one's going to be back all the way near the warning track.
Now look at this. He's rounding second. He's going to stop at second. I think if he had had just a little bit more of his regular game energy, and here comes the runner coming in trying to get it.
Oh, no. They got him by about a half a step. So that'll be out number 3. They tried to add on another run, but the Rockabillys do get 4 here in the 5th.
A 6-2 lead.
Where the day starts with laughter in local shops and ends under the stars with live music. That's Jackson, Tennessee. It's a place where every moment is an invitation to explore, to connect, to be a part of something bigger. Jackson isn't just a destination. It's where stories are written, memories in the making.
CPR is the global leader in electronic device repair, and our services are fast and far more affordable than replacement. CPR specializes in cracked screen replacement and repair, water damage, data recovery and transfer, camera repair, battery issues, component replacement, and more. CPR, we save your mobile life.
Here's the 6th inning. This one is slow pitch softball with 5 outfielders. And of course they've got a screen out there you can see. But this one, we could see some big hits here in this inning, just like the Rockabillys had some big ones in that last inning off the tee.
I think it's between innings aerobic music for the fans.
Well, they're getting their workout here, and as we've mentioned a couple times tonight, the temperature makes this a little bit harder, too. 86 degrees, but it doesn't feel like 86 out there.
Well, where we are, it doesn't feel like 86 at all.
The Rockabillys making their way out there to the field, and we've got a left fielder.
Now look at this guy. He's going to tell everybody he was on doing YMCA.
If you hear this song, you know the dance, you got to do it. But this inning, we've got a left fielder, a left center fielder, right center fielder, and a right fielder. Thrillbillies have some work to do here.
The question is, how do you plot strategy do you have analytics for a game like this?
I don't know what you have. I don't know how you decide who plays what position or what, because you're managing a totally different game. I'm sure that you don't have any good scouting reports on any of these guys' kicking ability or backwards running speed or anything like that.
I think I'll go back to school and get a degree in analytics so that I can advise these teams all over the country that play these rules.
It would be uncharted waters for sure.
Yeah, you know me, I've always gone in uncharted waters.
Somebody's got to be the first one. Why not Steve Beverly? That's what I've always said.
Well, you know that noodle outfit I have that.
Now, I don't know the rules, but do we have delays of game? Or is that.
Well, I don't know. If you have that, it might be a 5-yard penalty.
A 5-yard penalty. Yeah, I don't know how we regulate that here.
Well, I guess what you would do is maybe give somebody 5 yards advantage on the baseline.
Or it might be a sort of flag football 5 Mississippi before you can run type of deal. Yeah.
There you go. That will work.
That one missed high, I believe. Good cut on that one. Deep out there to left field, tracking it down.
And he dropped it.
But because it looked like he was going to catch it, the runner's just going to stay there at first base.
I know what happened there. He's been singing too much, and that's what made him drop the ball. He was concentrating too much on his next hit.
A decent amount of singing here at the ballpark, if that's what we call it. An attempt. That one down the line, but foul.
Look at the determination on his face.
Good cut. That one's in the air. Take two at it, but it's way over his head.
And they are making a rally.
Now we've got a monster truck out here on the field down near third base.
Well, they couldn't put it out there where it could trip them up.
So the runner doesn't come home.
I think that was the strategy, to try to trip them up with that monster truck.
Anything it takes. But the Rockabillys with the healthy lead, 6-2. They got two in scoring position for the Thrillbillies. Up in the air. But it looks like it's out of reach again. It's going to drop down.
And I believe that the lead is going to be cut to 2.
And it's going to be
He's going to go for 3.
Way up in the air. But if the tag.
And slid in under the tag.
Man.
You know what I've seen from both teams tonight? A bit casual in how they throw.
A little bit. Every inning we've seen that. But the Rockabillys casually in danger of losing the lead.
Yeah, let's see what Cowboy does.
That's the first out.
I think he may be related to that fellow that cleans the floor during basketball games at Union that we call Cowboy Curling.
Now, if you don't watch Union basketball, well, Worthy Road Studios, of course, the producers for that as well. It's a great, excellent broadcast. Great, excellent. I don't know how many times that's been said before.
Great, excellent.
But it is up in the air. Second base tried to make a play on it just off the top of his glove.
And they're going to get another run in.
So the Thrillbillies cut it down to 1 now. Some casual base running as well.
Yeah, I think he looked at that and decided that he didn't want to run sprints.
That down the line, but it's got to be foul, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't quite go over the bag, so some of these fouls we've had in this thing. Notice how faster the pace is. Now go to second.
Whoa, way over his head. He sailed it out there in the right field.
It's almost as if that we are trying to create drama now. The 6-2 lead down to 6-4.
It may be. But the Thrillbillies in danger of tying it up.
I see nobody in the mound for the Rockabillys in the bullpen.
That one's in the air, but it's right, just a bloop single there to center.
And we are going to have the bases loaded.
So a chance to blow this one wide open and give the Thrillbillies back the lead.
And remember, they have only one out.
That one's in the air. Long run, though.
And he's going to try to get in there and tie it.
Sitting on the plate there. Well, that's one way to do it, right? He's not going to sneak onto the base.
Everybody is doing everything possible to avoid injury in this game tonight.
And the Rockabillys avoid losing the lead here. 6-5, though. It did slip a little bit.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
The award-winning Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 1 million views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,700 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, South Gibson County, USJ, TCA, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow-motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Buy a car in your bikini. Buy a truck in your jammies. Buy an SUV in your, well, no matter what you're wearing or not. Shop JonesChevroletHumboldt.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
The Domino's pizza car making its way off the field there on the left side of your screen. It's pizza in your seats at the ballpark.
And I can't think of anything better. And they've got one of the guys that's coming out there, and he's like the Pied Piper because he's got all these kids following him behind that pizza box.
Now, was the Pied Piper a pun for a pizza pie?
I want to hear you say that 5 times real fast.
I don't think I'll attempt that live on air. That's a dangerous game you're playing. 6-5 the score.
And they're having a conference out.
They might be discussing the payment for the umpire, getting that sacrifice fly for the Rockabillys. I don't know how much those run nowadays.
Well, I wonder if he gets name, image, and likeness for it. There's a bunch that are having a good time here at Rockabilly Stadium.
It's a special night here at the ballpark. Sun beginning to set. It's getting a little more cool out there.
And I don't think anybody's going to complain about that. Now, there's a couple in there. They were really getting with the beat. If she only knew that we had her right in the center of the picture. I think it's somebody who used to go to school with our director, Christopher Reasons. It actually was.
Well, it's a one-run ball game here, but the Rockabillys get their chance here. And who is this making his way out there to the plate?
Well, it should be interesting in this inning regardless. I think they've only got one infielder.
That one's hit over there to shortstop, but it's going to be a long throw. No way he gets him.
Nah.
Story safe down there. Story Kimura.
Well, they still didn't give him credit for a 5th run. They're saying on the scoreboard 6-4.
You never know how it's going here. That one hit over to third, but nobody there. Thrillbillies short-staffed again, and it's back-to-back singles.
It doesn't look like that any of the managers of these teams are coming out to admonish their players about lack of effort tonight.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a rest night for the guys. Have some fun out there. He called a shot out there to right field, but he'll take the first pitch.
That pitch looked like we were bowling. That's 2 in a row.
And the PA announcer here at the ballpark, whoa, that one out there to left field. It's going, gone. How about that over the Blue Monster? That's what the people came for tonight. Number 21, Dalton Rudd with a bomb out there.
I think Dalton is going to be greeted by everybody that was in the outfield a couple of innings ago.
Why not get everybody from the stands down there after a shot like that?
I think they should do that. Everybody, look at it. They're getting him with a water bottle again.
The Rockabillys make it 8-4 with a 3-run shot there.
It's a 9-4 game. I need to send you back to math class.
I got so distracted by the moonshot out there, I forgot how many base runners there were.
I don't care if you're hitting a softball or a baseball. That was a long shot.
And it was no doubt about it. This one, not the same distance to it, but it's a fair ball.
And he's not even going to try to run it out.
I think we're ruling it a foul ball. We're going to do him a courtesy there. That one hit out there to left field.
Somebody threw his glove up after. And, you know, the glove has to be attached to the hand to make the catch.
Well, if you throw the glove, it makes the catch, and you catch the glove with the ball, that's an out.
You're trying to make too much of a psychological analysis of this, Alexander.
Just saying there's a possibility. Toss it up there and see. That one will hang up for a while, but nobody's going to make their way over in time.
That thing dropped like a poached egg.
The Rockabillys finding some success here with the softball.
I think that was one that Sunday afternoon Tom Kim would have loved to have seen in the first playoff hole against Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, there goes the bat again.
That's 2 tonight. Now, I wonder if they would create a rule that if you break your bat, you've got to swing the rest of the time with at least one portion of the bat.
We've got the softball bats, though. Tough to break those. Up in the air at short, though.
And he dropped it. But they're going to get him. I see what they did. Intentional.
Once again, how about the stretch?
They said he's safe at first.
His foot came off the bag there.
At Sly, I'm telling you, you go again for that trying to get the double play. There's no infield fly rule.
It's TJ Rockabomber. Oh, the bat
and there goes another
again.
bat.
Man, if you're in the dugout for the Thrillbillies tonight, man, you've dodged 3 of those.
So here we go again. And we got 2 down.
That one's going to be right there into right field. Just a nice little single, nothing too crazy there.
Now, as slow as he was going down to first, I'm surprised he didn't try to toss it over there.
Rockabomber thought it was a guaranteed one, but a good throw to first might have got him.
Here comes the unmasked singer again.
That one's up in the air, and I don't know what you call that position, but he records the out.
I think you would call that one right center fielder.
The right center fielder. There we go, ends the inning. But the Rockabillys, a big bomb there from Dalton Rudd, and they add on big time.
If you're looking to upgrade your device without breaking the bank, CPR can help you with that as well. Our stores carry a wide variety of certified pre-owned tablets, laptops, and smartphones, including all of the latest Apple and Samsung models. Financing is available for qualified customers. Our Y certified technicians are ready to assist you. And our limited lifetime warranty is the best in the industry. And with hundreds of stores across the U.S., you never have to look far for fast, efficient electronic device repair. CPR. We save your mobile life.
Hey Jackson, Chuck Hutton, Tennessee's trusted name in automotive excellence, is proud to announce the grand opening of Chuck Hutton Nissan, now open at the I-40 and 45 bypass right in the heart of Jackson. Come see why Chuck Hutton has been the go-to destination for car buyers in Memphis for over 100 years. Now we're bringing that same dedication and experience to Jackson. Come experience the Chuck Hutton difference for yourself. Chuck Hutton Nissan will have you saying, "I'm going to Jackson."
Up there, they're explaining the rules. And it seems like we've got a monster truck somehow in this inning here. We're finding out along with you what's going on.
All I can see right now is that the entire Thrillbillies roster has come out of the dugout. I think they're trying to escape those broken bats.
Probably. Now, here's how it works, it sounds like. They've got this truck here. It's an RC truck. They drive fast. We see them every night in the 7th inning stretch for the Monster Truck 500, Monster Energy Truck 500. But every lap they make around these orange cones is going to be a run. They've got 7 minutes to do it. And once a guy makes a lap, he's got to hand the controller off to another guy.
So you got 7 minutes to make it around?
They've got 7 minutes, and however many times they make it around, that's how many runs they get.
Okay.
So a chance to have a big inning here might be what the Thrillbillies need.
Now notice the technique that he has, and he's got a...
Oh, he flipped it.
He's got a two-handed grip. Oh, my goodness, the truck is dead. They got to bring him into the pits now.
Getting a little early start there. They call him back here. So you got to start at the plate.
Well, he crossed the plate, but that doesn't count as a run because he was going the wrong way.
Waiting for the 7 minutes to be added. They're having I believe on the scoreboard.
That will make this the longest inning of this game.
Oh, by far.
Now, do we have an official clock that we can watch?
It's a good question.
Well, he's got the green flag out to start it. Now, do you have one guy that controls it the whole 7 minutes, or does he have to hand off?
If he makes a lap, he'll hand it off to the next guy. Here we go. Clock is running. You can see it up there. Trying to drift around the dirt, but he's not going through the cones. He's going to have to come back.
So this will not be a run.
It's an unofficial lap.
No, he had him turn completely around.
So they're giving him a grace on that one.
You get a practice lap, I guess.
A mulligan, as some of them call it, I believe.
Yeah.
So we'll try it again. You've got to go around the cone. So there's a cone down there right at the end of the outfield at first base and all the way around the edge of the grass there.
We ought to call this like NASCAR and just see. Here he goes. All right, he's going around turn one. And there he goes completely to the outfield trying to get around this orange cone. Now look at this. He looks like a clone.
Oh, on two wheels there. Just hangs on.
Oh, my goodness. He's flipped out.
That's why people watch NASCAR, I've heard.
They're going out to rescue it because we got trouble in turn 4.
This is going to be a over 30-second lap. Just right at 29 seconds.
Now, whoa! The wall. He's into the wall. We may have to carry him inside inside the pits.
That's one run for the Thrillbillies. But the pit stopped taking a while here.
You know, he didn't actually cross the plate, but I guess they'll give it to him.
I believe it's a general vicinity. He missed the cone.
I wonder, I don't know if he's played with one of these things at home.
Well, he just kept going. I think they're going to allow it. But he's taking these turns really tight.
And then if we were calling it at the Kentucky Derby, and down the stretch he comes.
And that one crossing around home plate. That'll be 2 for the Thrillbillies.
Yeah, he made that much faster. That was about a 30. Yeah, they having a handoff to a different controller each time. Now, he finally gets it around the first base, but he's got to go around that cone.
Now, this looks like when you need new tires, right? And you've got to slowly roll into the pit.
Yeah, you got to bring in and at least change 2 tires out. Nope, he didn't go around the cone.
They're being a little gracious on it. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. If somebody was in there, I think we'd be bringing out the emergency trucks.
It's a wipeout over there by the bullpen, but he gets right back up. That's the third one sliding in. You don't have to slide when there's no catcher at the plate.
Now, look at this. I guess this is what you call the hop, because that's about what he's doing. He's hopping about every.
He's hitting the throttle really hard, I think. You've got to be consistent with it.
Well, there's no question he's going to get around the cone with it.
Well, here we go. A good turn out there in the outfield. Coming around third base, I guess.
No wipeout. Yeah, well, he goes around a bit there. You think he's doing road course racing. And down the stretch he comes, and he's going to get it. And he actually does get it at the plate.
That's the 4th one for the Thrillbillies. They've got 4:15 left. Oh, flipping around out there.
Well, this is Crash City, and you can see how the fans are being affected by all of this, and now they're having their attention distracted by all of this stuff that's being tossed to them. Hey, now he looks like he's going out to the warning track.
Doing a wheelie most of the time around this lap, right into the wall.
That's actually the way Billy Bolin II, our camera operator, drives when he's out on the road.
It looks like we're hung up over there by the bullpen.
And she's trying to get a help from one of the field assistants.
This will be the 5th one here coming around.
Hasn't quite made it yet.
And it's 600 feet around the perimeter of the infield. They call it the Monster Truck or Monster Energy Truck, 600 at the ballpark.
I guess you give them that one there.
Well, he just completely missed it and wipes out. The truck comes apart.
The truck this is carnage. It's complete carnage.
So this will take a while for the pit stop. We're down to about 3 minutes left.
The truck's engine is a crimson mask. Now look at it. He's going out toward deep center field.
He's trying to go around the warning track. Look at this tight turn. Wow. Missed the cone, though. And he ditches the exoskeleton of the truck.
Exoskeleton, huh? Now, why are you putting those kind of words on me that I got to go look up? Exoskeleton. Is that different from an endoskeleton?
I think it's the opposite.
Are you trying to be Ted Cluck?
We've got another pit stop, so 6 laps. Whoa, they're trying. What is going on? Doing some human bowling. Thrillbillies wasting a little bit of time here.
I think the distinguished author of sports books, more than 20 sports books, Ted Cluck, should be here tonight to detail all of this.
This is worth a couple of books for sure. Well, by my count, they've got 6, and we're just starting them out in the middle of the lap.
We'll find the official word on this whenever the half inning is over. We're less than 2 minutes away.
Oh, right into the backstop.
And that wasn't even a broken bat.
That might not have been 90 miles an hour, but it came in hot. I believe that's lap 7. They've got 7 minutes to do this, and they've spent about 5.5.
There they go, finally getting it.
Now, is this a rockabilly out there distracting them so they don't drive the truck around the track?
I truly believe that's the case.
Well, that's a good strategy. We've seen it earlier tonight from the Rockabillys. The point, look over there and come in to score. Off to the races again.
And he didn't go around the cone, but I guess they're giving him another pass on that one.
You know, he missed under 2 cones. I think they're letting it slide.
They're changing the rules as we go.
This might be the best lap we've seen, but he spins out a little bit.
And he goes down again. I wish we could show that to you in slow motion, folks.
Well, they've got 50 seconds left of their 7 minutes, so maybe enough for one more time around, but they're going to have to go quick.
I wonder if it's out of gas. It's chugging like it's about out of gas.
Here we go. I don't think they're going to have enough time for one more lap.
Well, it seems as though, and now they're going backwards.
Well, on the scoreboard, they say it's 12-9 for the Thrillbillies. So that's 8 runs they've given them via the monster truck.
20 seconds left.
This one's going to be cutting it close. 15, and they're just around first base. This is a skilled driver right here, though.
Yeah. We're not seeing a lot of wipeout with this. They're going to have to hurry. 4, 3, 2, 1. He made it.
Photo finish. That's 9 in the inning for the Thrillbillies.
And if they give them credit for that one, it's 13.
It looks like they did.
All right, it's 13-9. Uh-oh, we got a brouhaha going out here at the mound.
It's a water balloon fight.
And it's going to, I think the benches are going to empty as they go after him again.
Ethan Orwig slinging those things over there.
And they chase the Thrillbillies back to the dugout. So I must tell you, another 7 minutes here. This is definitely, without question, Alexander, the longest inning that we have had.
Absolutely, and the Rockabillys will try their hand at their 7 minutes here. There was 9 laps for the Thrillbillies in that 7 minutes, so give me just a moment. I'll tell you the average time for lap.
Well, since you've done math and you've done vocabulary tonight, I can't wait for this one. The big question on this, and for you folks at home, make your own prediction as to whether you think the Rockabillys will rally in this inning and retake the lead.
So the Thrillbillies had a average lap time of 46 seconds, .6666667 to be exact.
And now they're sailing the water balloons into the stands at the fans, which with as hot a night as we have in West Tennessee, I don't think they're complaining about it at all.
They are appreciative of it. You see a lot of the young fans getting closer to the field to try to get in the splash zone.
A big splash there right in the center.
Good thing we've got this net protecting us here. Look at that.
Tell you, these guys they've got good arms anyway, but seeing how far they're sailing these water balloons. Look at that one. Woo!
That one hit the net and splattered on a lot of people. Now, these were intended for the strikeouts. So we'll see what happens if they do get one tonight. We haven't seen a strikeout yet.
And considering what we've seen, I'm not sure we're going to see one, Alexander. I don't think we're going to see a swing and the miss strikeout, and we're definitely not going to have a called strikeout tonight.
Absolutely not. We've seen just about everything else, though, even a 2-run bomb over the Blue Monster. Might have landed out there at I-40.
All right, here we go. The clock has started. 7 minutes to go. Let's see how the Rockabillys can rally it.
So they missed the cone.
But they were given a break with the other team, so let's see.
Oh, flipping out there in the center field, but he's back up.
Now, my question is, are they being given a practice lap just like the Thrillbillies were?
That's a good question. They did have the advantage of watching the Thrillbillies. You know, sometimes it's better to go second in a contest like this.
You know what you got to have. Woo!
32-second lap, but what's taking up the time is the exchanges between the players.
And also a dead truck. I'm suggesting that they are not giving them a practice run because the clock continues to run.
Now this right here is an impressive lap. Keeping it tight towards the infield.
Yeah.
Will he flip around this one? No, he won't. Keeps it straight up.
And down the stretch he comes, and he goes right across it again, but then he flips out.
That is the fastest lap we've seen here in this inning.
He was almost down into the Thrillbillies dugout.
That was a good head start there. The way he threw the truck forward was impressive. This will be lap 3. Rockabillys so far beating the Thrillbillies' time. Puts the brake on. Great
I'm
turn
telling you,
there.
this is a great turn.
Now, Dennis Bastian, the owner and operator here at the ballpark, mentioned the Rockabillys have done this a couple times throughout the season. Every 7th inning, they have a race of these. So they do have some experience, but you've got to give them props here.
Well, there he goes and making very quickly around that second cone. Now we have stalled out. I wonder if they need to have a top it off with fuel. And you can see the reaction on the part of the Rockabillys. And they pick it back up again.
Now, they don't get their time back. But this is lap 4 after 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
And he's almost going into the dugout. There it comes.
The spin out on the dirt. It's a little dirt track racing mixed with grass racing.
I wonder what the grounds crew is going to have to do after this one is over with tonight.
Rockabillys have really mastered this turn around third.
That's what experience will do for you.
Absolutely.
They got 4 minutes to go.
That was the 5th lap.
So they have unofficially retaken the lead.
Almost a spin out there, but he gets right back on 4 wheels. And the Rockabillys making these turns. You can just see the experience. Oh, well.
Now, if you're along the 45 bypass tomorrow and you see a vehicle doing this, it's Alexander driving it.
I'm going to plead the 5th if that were to be the case. I know vocabulary and the law. Here, this one comes in, run number 6. And the Rockabillys have been doing a gooder job. Wow.
Gooder. You have just ruined your entire vocabulary tonight. They have been doing
to apologize
a gooder job
to everybody listening to this broadcast, everybody in attendance tonight. I am very apologetic.
Gooder.
But you know what? It stands as the truth. They are doing a gooder job. They're doing a better job. Whatever you want to call it, they're doing a great job.
Now, I go back a long way, Alexander, way longer than you do. And there was a great game on television called Password. I never heard them use the word gooder on Password.
Well, that would have stumped them.
The clue they could have given, batter, gooder. Yeah, sure. Gooder. Next time I do a basketball game with you, you've got to use that at least one time.
Well, the Rockabillys at a good pace here. 7
No,
laps.
it's a gooder pace.
It is. I'm not going to live this one down,
No,
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not going to let him live it down. They're playing Bruce Springsteen in the background as they circle around home plate once again. Well, as they, shall we say, flip around home plate. And the clock is running again.
This lap here would tie it up for this inning. 9-9 laps.
Yeah, I think this would make it 18-13 if they can get this one around.
Now, nothing feels more American than a night at the ballpark like this. Monster truck racing around the base paths. And Bruce Springsteen.
I mean, with Born in the USA.
Well, a little bit of a stall over here.
Now football being tossed to the fans.
We've seen the Rockabillys toss this football around all season long. Sometimes in the bullpen, spinning out, making it impressive.
Well, he's going the wrong way. He's going back toward the mound. Well, he crossed the plate. Yeah. All right, got a minute and 15 seconds left.
Going for lap number 10. Could be a double-digit inning. That'd be gooder than the Thrillbillies.
Yeah, it'd be gooder. Who did you have for English at Union?
I don't want to ruin anybody's career. They didn't teach that in the classroom.
They messed it up again.
I'm telling you, there goes the exoskeleton.
The exoskeleton has gone across. This is not one of the gooder moves tonight.
Well, that was lap 10, and 45 seconds still left on the clock. Off to the races.
I will tell English professor John Netlin that you said gooder tonight.
I did have Dr. John Netlin for one of my classes.
And I'm going to tell him about how his tutoring has affected you.
They're going to do some donuts here. Looks like we're...
I think they're just going to toss it in right here and
toss it.
as you say, do some donuts. And you can't get a driver to do a backflip out of the car, though.
So the Rockabillys in that inning averaged about a 38-second lap. So
there goes his calculations again. Now, let's see. They have not posted on the board, but what's your unofficial total that we have?
Oh, let me think through this. I'm going to say it is 20 to, let me do this math.
Yeah, 20 to
12?
I believe
13.
you're right.
I think it's 13.
20 to 13. All right, well, let's take a break. When we come back, and Alexander will do some geometry for you.
Buy a car in your bikini. Buy a truck in your jammies. Buy an SUV in your, well, no matter what you're wearing or not. Shop JonesChevroletHumboldt.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Hey Jackson, Chuck Hutton, Tennessee's trusted name in automotive excellence, is proud to announce the grand opening of Chuck Hutton Nissan, now open at the I-40 and 45 bypass right in the heart of Jackson. Come see why Chuck Hutton has been the go-to destination for car buyers in Memphis for over 100 years. Now we're bringing that same dedication and experience to Jackson. Come experience the Chuck Hutton difference for yourself. Chuck Hutton Nissan will have you saying, "I'm going to Jackson."
Well, here we go, calling the fans to get loud. Who knows what's about to happen?
You know, this is almost like a football score, Alexander. They got it. It's 20 to 12, they say.
It is exactly like a football score. Somebody just missed a couple field goals.
I think it says 12 from where I'm looking at. Of course, then again, I'm almost 70 years old, so I do have a problem. My vision is not gooder like yours is.
I do have 20/20 vision, but I don't have 20/20 vocabulary and grammar.
What did you do? Did you cover up your left eye and say what's 5 times 4 and cover up your right eye and say what 10 times 2 is? If you did that, then you got the 20/20 vision.
Well, it's take me out to the ball game, and I'm going to take you to the classroom and do some advanced calculus. Not really. Don't get your hopes up. That's only on pay-per-view.
Is it 12 or 13? Let's find out. I cannot read the scoreboard from here.
Anything except a bat here in this inning, and they are batting from second base. Official score 20 to 13.
Now, what kind of balls are they using if they can't use a bat, what kind of balls are they using?
I believe they're using a tennis ball, and there's a lot of stuff out there. I think my object of choice would be a pickleball paddle.
A pickleball paddle would be good, and you're pretty proficient at that. I've understood that you have become one of the young and budding stars of pickleball in West Tennessee.
Well, grammar didn't work out for me in English, so I figured I might try my hand at something else.
I'm going to talk to the commissioner of pickleball in Jackson, Tennessee, Ron Harris, and make sure that you are named to the all-star team for that.
Well, I will gladly accept. But the Rockabillys here trying to limit any sort of a comeback from the Thrillbillies.
Now, are we looking at sleds here, or is that one of the things you can use?
I believe it is a sled. We've almost got to get one of our camera guys to head out there on the field to get a good look at this.
Now, sled, I can't tell what the other objects are. Now, this will be one of the more creative innings that you have ever seen.
This reminds me of if you ever get on YouTube and you see the Dude Perfect All Sports Golf Battle. Well, it's similar to this, right? They might kick a soccer ball for one of their strokes.
Exactly.
They might hit a baseball. Well, here we've got this at the ballpark.
It's even maybe a third cousin to disc golf or frisbee golf.
Now, that one would be – I've got some friends that could throw a frisbee disc over the Blue Monster out there.
All right, you got what looks like
PVC.
Yeah, did I see a frying pan coming? a crutch?
Now, I'm going to go on record and say I don't understand what's going on in this inning, but we'll figure out when you figure out. The crutch can't be a very good bat for this inning. The PVC up in the air. Got a good swing on it.
Now, remember, we're in the 8th.
Good catch, barehanded, though.
Yeah, you can't use a glove in this inning to catch.
And they're batting towards us. Now, I do feel good about this net in front of us and some windows, but these other fans, man, they've got an opportunity to make a play.
And remember, it's an out if somebody in the stands catches it.
Here we go. Can it be? Oh, it's not going to be. They're calling that a home run. So if nobody catches it out there, it's a home run.
The thing is, he only has to run 2 bases.
He's not doing a lot of running. They're jogging 2 bases.
Actually, he's going to first, so I guess maybe home is at second.
So it's another reverse inning in a way. This will be 20-14, and Rockabillys had a home run out there to left field, and now we've got a home run out into the...
He does touch second, yeah.
He does. A home run to the general admission. They'll take it. It's still a run.
And he swung at it, yeah.
Now, what does he have here? Is this a pizza paddle? It is.
It is a pizza paddle.
That one a slow roller.
And all he does is pick it up on the bounce. What a play.
Out number 2.
Digging the hole.
We got to get some of the fans to relocate.
Yeah, now he's going to use a sled.
Oh, off the bounce. Is that?
That was a wicked hit. You know, I would think a sled wouldn't be that because you can't control it as well.
Yeah, it's a tough swing, but if you put I was going to say the barrel on it, but I guess if you hit it, right?
Now, did they declare that a foul ball? Because here's the thing. You don't have foul lines.
You don't. You've got to have those imaginary foul lines we grew up playing with. That one's a good swing, but
I think he's going to be out.
That's
at third.
Unassisted. Out at third, I think you score that for you scoring at home. That's a 5
and
unassisted.
That's 3 up, 3 down.
3 up. Well, except the home run.
Yeah, you did have the one home run, but look at this. 20-14. They got the extra point. So you want to hold it up right here since it looks like they're going to immediately change sides, so I guess we won't take a break.
It looks like they are. And so what so far has been the most successful swing? What the home run was hit with which? Utensil, I guess.
Yeah, it was not the crutch. Was it the
PVC?
The PVC was it, yeah. So we're going to the bottom of the 8th immediately, and this is where you can really separate it because the Rockabillys can do it all right here. Now, what I wonder in this game, though, if they're ahead going to the 9th, do they have to play the 9th just for the entertainment of the fans?
I think they should.
I think they should just run it up.
Because if the score ended here, man, you think we play a football game here in Rockabillys Stadium. 21-14.
Now, let's see. What's he got?
Is this a broomstick?
Either that or a fishing rod.
Pretty good swing on it, though. Oh, he bobbles it.
Yeah, too many guys in one place. And look at it, but he's just trotting down there to third. And he makes it.
Throw drew him way off the bag there. So 1 out. It's a golf club, I believe.
Yeah. I wonder if it would, well, he's throwing so quickly. I wonder if it would help if you had one of those old high pro paddles that you used to have the rubber ball on. That was the kind that my teacher, Flo Sims, in the 4th grade used to shellac on both sides so she could use it to paddle us if we were out of line.
A paddle would be a good one.
Somehow
sure.
The memory of that, I would hope they wouldn't use it. And I think he just struck out.
So that's out number 1. We got the first strikeout of the night. Here's the pizza paddle, almost cricket-ish.
And he's going to go left-handed with it.
Now, the cricket paddle would be a good one for sure. The pizza paddle will suffice.
There's a drive, but it is only going to get, and they got the force out. He did get the first, so they didn't get the double play.
They got the lead runner, though. The thing is, though, if somebody flies out, you essentially get the lead runner.
Exactly.
So not big difference. That one up in the air. Was that out number 3? He seems to think so.
He thinks so, and everybody is they are departing are they departing the field, or are they
switching pitchers? I can't tell what's going on here.
Yeah, I think that they're still up.
And now we've got that PVC here. You put a good swing on it with this one, it'll go a distance.
Well, we've seen that one time already.
So we are done. We just wanted to wait around for a moment.
Yeah, I think it took a while for them to declare it was actually 3 outs. But, hey, look at this. We got 3 touchdowns to 2 right now. It's 21-14, so here we come. We got a Hold'em Rockabillys as we go to the top of the 9th.
Buy a car in your bikini. Buy a truck in your jammies. Buy an SUV in your, well, no matter what you're wearing or not. Shop JonesChevroletHumboldt.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
The award-winning Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 1 million views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,700 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, South Gibson County, USJ, TCA, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
The 9th inning is no mystery. It's regular, good old-fashioned baseball here at the ballpark.
Now, what I want to know, Alexander, does this game count in the standings?
This does not count in the standings, which is good for the Thrillbillies because they lead the South Division. The Rockabillys wishes that it does.
Well, I think that they ought to get 1/9 of a game to count in the standings. It would be gooder for the Rockabillys.
It would be gooder for the Rockabillys. The difference here is we've got position players out there on the mound. It's Will Bowen for the Rockabillys.
Now remember, Alexander declared, because this is real baseball, if they hold on to this lead, we don't play the bottom of the 9th, regardless of what the rules are.
I'll stand by that. I'm definitely not playing the bottom of the 9th, no matter what happens. You and me, I don't think we'll make our way out there.
Now, wait a minute. What do we got going on here?
I think we're just doing a little bit of moving.
All right. They're
rearranging.
They're taking the softball net away. But the Rockabillys are coming out of the dugout once again.
Are they holding hot dogs?
They're holding something, and it looks like something to eat.
And they're making their way to the Thrillbillies dugout. This might not be good.
Uh-oh, we may have – no, they're throwing it up into the stands. Looks like a free hot dog.
They've got a good enough arm. You think they could get one up here to me in this window?
As good as their arms are, I don't believe that it will reach this far. Although there was one that went pretty high. They're still taking the warm-up tosses out there.
Well, they need a warm-up because they haven't been playing regular baseball all game.
But now, look, you got 3 of the Thrillbillies, actually 4 of them out there in the outfield.
They're getting those warm-ups in, but they won't take the field unless they have a big, at least 7-run comeback here.
Now, I wonder if they think that they're going to be able to stay out there for that. Well, remember how this game started? It was a near brawl out here in the center.
It was, and maybe indicative of how these two teams feel about each other, fighting for first place in the South Division. Of course, tonight doesn't count, but there's a little pride mixed up in it for sure.
I can tell you, though, folks, if you go back and rewatch that, you will see once again there was not a single blow that was connected.
There was not. This was a little WWE type of thing here at the ballpark.
Well, I believe we're ready to go.
And looks like it'll be number 8 leading off for the Thrillbillies. That's Cam Edwards. And Will Bowen's on the mound for the Rockabillys. He's a sophomore at the College of San Mateo.
This would be great to get revenge from last year's defeat in the Battle of the Billies.
Cam Edwards, the first one there at the plate. Thrillbillies have 3 outs to do it, They've got 7 runs to make up. So some work here ahead of them.
Yeah, they're going to have to get, well, they don't have to get as many as they did with the monster truck race.
But it won't be as easy either. Here's the first pitch. Right down Main Street. Strike 1. Will Bowen's a position player, but looked at home there. He's dealing quick.
And got it in. Alexander, he's got a good curveball going here.
He does. He's quickly ahead 0-2 here. Cam Edwards down to the last strike. Lobs it in there. Up in the air. Should be easy, but who wants it? Play made at shortstop.
He has had more camera time tonight than anybody on either team.
Absolutely. You got to be in the right place at the right time. It's number 91.
He sang. He did everything else you could imagine tonight.
Here we go for the Thrillbillies. It's number 2 down there. That's Caleb Herbert. We've seen him a couple times tonight. He takes strike 1 right at the bottom of the zone.
He has been getting them in there tonight.
Will Bowen might be auditioning for a spot in the roster for pitching. Blows that one past him. He's ahead again, 0-2. Now, this is not a save-eligible situation. Misses low, though.
I think he could get the victory if he gets this one because we haven't had any conventional pitching until now.
Now, in a game that doesn't count on the books, we'll give him a victory if he pulls this one off. 1-2. Oh,
right down
him
in there.
And he knew it, too. He turned immediately.
Yeah. This is the point where, with 1 out left to go, that Dizzy Dean, way before your time years ago, would start singing the Wabash Cannonball, which went, listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar. She's mighty tall and handsome, and she's going down the shore.
I don't know when you're going to sing. I just know that you're going to sing at some point.
We have been doing games together for about 7 years, and you still don't know when I'm going to sing.
That one right in there. He's just throwing strikes. Alex Wilson at the plate.
Alex Wilson. I thought that was a weathercaster on the Weather Channel. She is. She's a meteorologist.
This could be out number 3. He'll take it himself. And in time, the Battle of the Billies goes to the Rockabillys by a touchdown, 21-14. And they get their revenge on last year. I don't think we're going to play the bottom part of the inning. We shouldn't.
Well, but they're going out to the outfield.
They might be planning on it. You've already got the victory, and you could just add some runs on maybe? I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know. And that's all you can do here in this case is just, Cowboys going out there to pitch.
Now, surely they know the score, right?
But, Alexander, this is an unconventional game. You play with unconventional rules. So what happens in this case is that you just continue on and let them run the score up.
Well, usually that's frowned upon, running up the score, but maybe not here in the Battle of the Billies. You never know.
Well, here's the deal. Usually the mercy rule comes if it's 10 runs, so they only have a 7-run lead.
They do only have 7 runs. Now, there's no way, as far as I'm aware, for the Thrillbillies to score here. But they'll have to get 3 outs anyways for the game to be done.
I think the only way that would happen is if they injected a new rule, as they have had with different rules every innings, that if you hit foul balls, it takes a run off the scoreboard.
We'd be in bad trouble then. Now, this is like a football game. We've got a football score, but we've also got to play the whole timeout, all 9 innings.
Well, they're giving their fans the money's worth, and it's been a fast one tonight. And we've had a lot of fun with it, just like I hope you at home have had. Oh, he did the eephus pitch again.
That one in the seats could be a fan out, but it's into the bullpen for the Rockabillys, out of reach.
Well, the cell phone repair foul ball at least.
On the mound is number 42.
Look how he stretches.
That's Jaden Correa. Hit right to second base, but it's underneath his glove for a single. That lets Jackson Lucas get down there at first base, and the Rockabillys get a chance to add on.
I guess the 9th inning, even though it's being played conventionally, will not count on their season statistics.
Absolutely not. Neither manager would agree to that.
Boy, wouldn't you hate it if you hit – well, the eephus pitch didn't dip there. Wouldn't you hate it if you hit one over the blue monster and it didn't count?
Yeah, it's
playing with the real ball.
Of course, he's had some experience doing that, so probably not going home too disappointed tonight.
No. Look how he's even got it down to about the 3rd button on his shirt.
Got to be careful what we air here on Worthy Road Studios.
This is a family sports network.
1 and 2 here's the count. Story Kimura there.
Ooh,
just stays alive.
You could tell he just got a piece of that one because he's looking back over at the third base coach as if to say, all right.
That one down to third, but it's through. And how about that? Back-to-back balls just going to the glove there.
Well, you got him on first and second with nobody out, so they're pouring it on tonight, Alexander.
They really are. They lead by 7, and they've got a run in scoring position here and no outs. That one's hit out there to right field, though. Right in front of him. He let it drop.
And it's going to be loaded.
They get the runner at second. Coming to the plate. They've got him in a pickle now.
Oh, my goodness.
Tag out the runner, and it's a very unconventional double play.
And we were in mild danger of it being a triple play. I don't know if you saw what was happening going between second and third, but you've at least got a runner still at second.
I don't know that I've ever seen a 9-6-2 double play.
You have now.
I have now, and this is conventional baseball. 2 outs, a runner down at second. Swings all the way through that one. It's Nathaniel Helton at the plate. He's one of the pitchers for the Rockabillys. Trying his hand at the plate, and the runner goes
to third.
Check swing, but he hits it foul. That was a heads-up run there. He knew he wasn't even looking over at second, just took off for the bag.
I think the scorekeeper is optimistic. They only have 1 out on the on the board, and it's 2.
0-2 count, though. 2 outs is the real amount. Lobbed it in there, and he fouls it back. Not taking any chances 0-2.
It's been a long time since I've seen anybody throw an eephus pitch.
Well, you've seen a good amount of them here tonight. That one misses low and outside.
Boy, when they do that in Major League Baseball and somebody swings and misses, it makes the hitter so mad.
1-2. Hit down to third. This could end it. Good throw across the diamond, but he dropped the baseball.
And a run is in.
So a couple of errors once we've transitioned to regular baseball here in the bottom of the ninth. And it's 22-14, so that football score is gone, but the fans here aren't
mad. He went for a 2-point conversion.
That's true, a 2-point conversion. That's what it's felt like tonight. Hit over to third. Another chance at it. Gets it right this time. That'll be the third out. So we're through 9 innings. I believe that's the game. That will be the end, and they're going to watch the end of the College World Series here at the ballpark for anybody that wants to stay.
As the Tennessee Vols, at this point, leading 5-1 in the deciding game against Texas A&M and potential national championship coming home to Knoxville. But Alexander, this has been fun tonight, and I want to say to everybody before Alexander wraps it up for us that years ago, I mentioned password years ago, and Alan Ludden, the host of the show, used to always end the show saying the password for today is, so I'm going to say, remember, in the words of Alexander Bitterling, the password for today is gooder. If you win 22-14, as the Rockabillys just did, you played a gooder game than your opponent.
And that's right. He used it in a sentence. I'm not going to ask him to spell it. It's a pretty simple spelling, but you know, we're standing by that word here tonight.
Gooder.
You know what it means, and we're going to start using it. The Rockabillys do play gooder, and they did tonight.
Dr. John Netlin, you have made a tremendous influence on Alexander Bitterling because he knows words like gooder.
It's a word most people weren't aware of until tonight, but the Rockabillys get it done. Whatever you want to call it, gooder, better, whatever you want to say. They win this one here 22-14. They'll be back tomorrow night in what will be a normal baseball game. It'll count in the Prospect League, and they play back-to-back nights against the Burlington Bees right here in the Hub City. So if you tuned in and you loved this broadcast, why not come on out to the ballpark and enjoy a baseball game here in person? It's going to be a great week of baseball. The Rockabillys looking to catch the Thrillbillies here in the South Division. 2.5 games behind. Now, unfortunately for them, the game tonight didn't count. But we thank you for tuning in. I'm Alexander Bitterling. He's Steve Beverly. Wishing you a good night.
The award-winning Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 1 million views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,700 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, South Gibson County, USJ, TCA, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow-motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.